$12K. $12K. And now we're expected to put in a day at the office?
Mulder, we signed up for this. Reinstatement training during office hours. And it would only have been $10K if you hadn't talked back to the instructor.
He started it.
I warned you before.
The route is out there? I still feel sweaty. I need another shower.
You're fine. And your email inbox is flashing.
Boring spam. How can they spam us behind a firewall?
That's your in-service pension.
Okay, not spam. Just boring. Ah.
What have you got?
I asked records to trace back any sightings or reference to our previous informants.
Because Spender and Mr. X returned from the dead, according to you.
You doubt me now? I met and talked with the cigarette-smoking man. We sat in Ron's diner and had a conversation based on things only he could know. Him being my biological father. My dad being the best friend he betrayed. Their secret missions for the State Department in the 50s and 60s.
The birth of the syndicate.
That was the betrayal on a planetary scale. But the syndicate was destroyed. Their New York headquarters is empty.
Look, you're right to try and establish whether there have been any independent sightings of these resurrected people. Or at least your word against everyone else's.
They were real, all right. But both of them seemed unwell. No, more than that. Physically, they were on the edge, easily stressed.
Okay. Let's assume your Mr. X was an alien hybrid, a clone of some kind, and it was trying to tell you something, still acting as if it were him.
A clone with X's memories.
When we were investigating the new Flukeman sightings at Martha's Vineyard, you talked about how biological systems, cross-trading, can transfer via genetics. Let's say someone is cloning these former members of the syndicate. Would it be for the information carried in their memories? If that was the case, they might also retain elements of their former character and habits, like smoking cigarettes.
Or trying to inform on their paymasters and getting punished for doing so?
Yes. You said Mr. X just dropped dead right in front of you.
He dissolved into green goo, but that doesn't feel like the most scientific way to describe it.
What if he was terminated at that point? What if he was giving away too much?
We have to put all these pieces together. Something is going on involving clones, alien hybrids, black oil...
The purity virus.
And possibly the disappearance of Agents Doggett and Reyes.
So who or what is behind all of this? X-Files. Copy that. We'll be there.
Another 12K run?
We need to go home and pack our passports, Mulder. There's a situation in Saudi Arabia.
I really want to follow this other stuff up.
Well, who knows? It may all be connected. And if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that Cancer Man isn't going away. That's one thing you can be sure of.
It's not where he's going, Scully. It's how the heck he's still here.
The X-Files, Cold Cases, starring David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. Episode 4, More Musings of a Cigarette-Smoking Man. 46th Street, New York City, 10:22 a.m.
Strange to be walking these corridors again. To be walking at all. To find the archive room just as I last saw it. Nothing has been touched, has it? What does my fragmented memory recall? The initials on these file boxes? F.E. W.M.M. X. C.S. A.K. Who were they again? I think I remember a well-manicured man. An X and an Alex Krychek, yes. Yes. But this is why I am here. To remember. Ah, this one is mine. Cigarette-smoking man. This desk, yes. just as it was. Those are butts in the ashtray that I smoked years ago. Perhaps in my box. An unopened pack. Well then. So, my whole history in this box. Will I recognize it? Time to get to work. Subject designate, CGB Spender. CGB Spender. Yes, that's me, Spender. Or was. Known aliases, Raoul Bloodworth. Bloodworth? Do I remember that? Cigarette smoking man, cancer man, crude. What's this? Operation Barracuda? Operation Zapata? Ah, yes. Those names I remember. I was on the beachhead. Cuba. The Bay of Pigs.
Bahia de Cochinos, Bay of Pigs, Cuba, April 16, 1961.
I covertly helped coordinate the Cuban National Invasion Force as they came ashore. At first, the U.S.-backed invasion looked like it was going well. 1,400 men landed on the beach and quickly overwhelmed the local militia stationed there. But the Cuban reserves quickly mobilized.
Radio operator, to me. Mr. Spender, I need to speak to command. On the line now, sir. Overcoat, this is Spender.
Spender, this is Overcoat.
Operation has landed, but resistance is far greater than estimated. Overcoat. Do you copy, Overcoat?
Get down! It's too hot down here, sir. We need to move.
Not without our air support. Overcoat, this is Spender. Request immediate reinforcements if we are to proceed toward Havana.
Damn it! This sap has gone to shit, sir. We need to fall back to the extract.
Shit! Overcoat in the blind. This is Spender. Can't falling back.
The message of Cuba, of layoffs, of the rising den of communist voices in Asia and Latin America.
Special Ops Hangar, Homestead Air Force Base, Florida, April 20th, 1961.
The soft societies are about to be swept away with the debris of history. Only the strong...
Spender!
Bill, you're a sight for sore eyes.
And you're a sight. Gonna shower that beach out of your hair?
Holding good time.
Watching the president wriggle off the hook?
Just needed a smoke, then caught this on TV.
This country or this administration. No other challenge is more deserving of our every effort and energy.
They say men aren't born great. It's what they do in response to disappointment and failure that makes them so.
And what do you know about it, Mulder?
I know my wife's pregnant and I'm still making grunt pay for sticking needles in you guys. I need this week's blood sample so the CO can climb down off my ass. Roll up your sleeve.
Taking blood samples beats getting shot at, believe me.
You know, we ought to go work for the government, you and me. Bring home the big bucks. Here goes.
Easy.
Still.
We do work for the government.
Yeah, well, there's the government and then there's the government, right?
There's the government, and then there's the government. Take a Chance, written by Raoul Bloodworth, brackets, nom de plume, close brackets. The manuscript for a novel? Was this me? Or did I dream it? That they do in response to great disappointment and failure that makes them so.
On-base housing, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, 1970.
That they do in response to great disappointment and failure that makes them so... No.
You're still up?
Hmm?
The way you keep typing at that thing, it sounds like it could be a long night.
Oh, sorry, Cassandra. I had no idea of the time.
That's okay. We couldn't sleep either.
Everything okay? Is he moving around in there?
And then some. I think he's excited to meet his daddy from how much he's kicking.
Jeffrey.
You like that name?
Yes.
Do you want to feel?
I ought to get some sleep. They're sending me out again tomorrow. Who's to say when I'll be back?
Oh.
I'm sorry. Just going to gather up my men.
Some men came by today. They were looking for you.
What sort of men?
They said it was time to draw some blood.
What happened to my manuscript? Did you touch something?
You never pay attention to me anymore.
Cassandra, put the knife down. You'll hurt yourself. The baby.
You don't care if we live or die.
I don't understand what's happening.
You never pay attention anymore. You're never here. And I don't know if you're away working or spending time with Tina Mulder again.
That was over years ago. Give me the knife.
No!
What the hell is the matter with you? Don't you know that everything I do is for you, for our child?
I don't know you. I don't know anything.
Irrelevant. But here's something. That's me with Bill Mulder. Photo says the year is 1970. And we're arguing. Who took this shot? Looks like surveillance. What are we arguing about? Everything. In latter days. In the early days, we worked together. Here. Subject, CGB Spender, assumed. United States Army, United States State Department. Operation Paperclip.
Victor Klemper's laboratory, secret location, August 1952.
Last one. Razor wire's cut. Alarms are cut. Let's get going. Mulder. Bolt cutter. Here. Shh. Here goes nothing.
It's dark. Lighting's on the fritz.
This way.
Easy does it. Body's here.
A couple of Klemper scientists. Throats ripped out. Just remember, worry about what's living in here. There's nothing we can do for the dead. Keep that nozzle facing front.
Hope this oversized Zippo works when the time comes.
How big is this place?
I'm guessing the whole of this floor is the research facility. Are these things water tanks?
Holy shit! What? Are you seeing this? Splicing human and extraterrestrial DNA. They've gotten much further with this research than anyone thought possible.
Unless you spent a war practicing on innocent victims in the camps.
Fan out.
Nazi bastard Klemper. And one hell of a mess for us to...
We're all alive in these tanks.
Were those the things we've been given all the blood samples for?
No. Roll up your sleeve.
Here? What are you doing?
You know the rules. A catalog is only helpful if it's current. And you want to be sure you didn't pick up any nasty contaminants in there. Hold still. Ouch. If we're gonna keep the country's most dire secrets, we also have to make sure that there's a backup available. Yep, got it.
Can we leave now?
Sure. My wife thinks we spend too much time together as it is.
Tina Mulder. Yes, I do remember her.
Quanticottag, Rhode Island, summer 1965.
Hey, just ran my 34 pass, going back in 30 seconds.
I keep telling Bill he'll break his neck getting dragged along behind that boat.
Oh, he's good at it. He's having fun.
Spender, listen. We need to talk, you and I. I've been thinking about things. About a lot of things lately. And I just don't think I can...
A cigarette?
Thanks. It hasn't been easy, you know. Putting on a brave face. Keeping up this facade while my husband...
If I let your husband win this round, do you think he'll accept it gracefully?
It's over.
What?
It's over, Spender. I'm putting a stop to it.
Tina, come on. I was only
I can't do this anymore.
Tina, Shit.
Who's there? Who's back there now? Don't be shy. Come out of the bushes.
It's me, Fox.
Well, aren't you a spooky little fella?
What's spooky?
Don't worry about it.
Why would I worry?
That's a good question. Till you discover everything around us is really a construct.
What?
Don't sweat it, kid. One day, the truth will set you free.
I want to go now.
Go. Go see your mama. Yep. Everyone runs from me, kid. Eventually. Even you. Even though I'm your real father.
Yeah, you're doing stuff.
No, I'm good.
Got stuff to do.
Bill Mulder. Raised my firstborn son as his own. I returned the favor. I brought him into the syndicate.
Stop the war! Get us out of Vietnam! Stop the war! Get us out of...
State Department Headquarters, Washington, D.C., 1972.
So sorry I'm late. With the protesters everywhere, it was murder getting over to Foggy Bottom this time of the...
Come in, Mulder. Close the door behind you.
I think I'm in the wrong meeting, sir. I was told the Secretary...
The Secretary of State left for Europe this morning, seeking life support for our commitment in Vietnam. In his absence, we thought we'd take this opportunity to discuss other business pressing this country.
Bill?
Spender?
Welcome to the syndicate. This is the first elder.
Take a seat, Bill. There's a lot to tell you about.
There is? Bill, the administration has caught a tiger by the tail in Southeast Asia. Squeezed by politics at home and desperate to project strength, they'll escalate their air campaign and push for victories they can sell as progress in the fight against communism.
Okay.
But that isn't why we're here. If those protesters clogging up the streets had any idea what was really going on in the skies over Hanoi, they'd thank us. You need to know what's really going on.
Is that how it all went down?
You're searching for answers.
Oh, Prime Elder. It's you.
That's all right. It isn't hard to understand why.
I had a wife, a child, a purpose.
When you're stitched together from so many broken pieces, the past must seem quite random.
But I still have a son, don't I? I protected him all those times. I can do it again. Can't I?
You don't have anything. Sit down.
I do.
Either obey your maker or be made to sit.
That hurt.
Yes. I can inflict pain on you with a thought. I can reduce you to a chemical ooze upon a whim. You don't have anything that I can't take from you. Understood?
Yes.
Good. Now, clean all those papers up. I've put a lot of planning into things, and I can't have you making a mess everywhere you go. I brought you back for some very specific reasons, after all. Were there some vials of blood samples in that storage box of yours? I needed you to open this place up so they could be gathered.
Yes. Yes.
Here. Good. These are all I needed. Now, lock up again when you leave.
Extraordinary men are always
most tempted by the most ordinary things.